So this is Don. It's not really Don, it's just a picture of a guy. But he presented with symptoms to his mandibular incisors. And Don had a root canal probably about 30 years ago to his mandibular central incisor. And over the course of a long time, it slowly became symptomatic. And one of my colleagues had referred this case to an endodontist, and when I had the results back from the endodontist when the patient was in my chair having symptoms, and this is a classic vertical root fracture. So you can see the lesion here. It's called a J-shaped lesion, and he'd been asymptomatic for years. And by the time we saw him, it was like, okay, now it's become symptomatic. We have a diagnosis of a vertical root fracture. What are you going to do? So we elected to extract the tooth. Oh, there's no other option other than extract the tooth. So we extracted the tooth, placed the bone graft, and then I'm like, okay, well, why don't we look and see what it looks like under the microscope? So we took this tooth under the microscope, and it's remarkable how you can see where the vertical root fracture is. So this is the buccal surface of the tooth, and you can see that that crack goes right through the tooth. And I'm going to crack this tooth open like a peanut, and let's see what's on the inside. So one of the almost all vertical root fractures are because of a root canal. And you can tell here, look at all that black stuff in there, but this tooth was obturated using lateral condensation. So probably what happened was condensation forces during the lateral condensation obturation technique slowly built up and probably started to crack. And over 30 years, it propagated and propagated and propagated, and finally it became symptomatic. So what do? Well, we extracted the tooth, we degranulated the socket, removed all the infection and all the other junk that was in there, and then placed the bone graft. And we'll see how much, because the buccal plates were, both buccal and lingual cortical plates were gone. And unfortunately, I have none of this on video, unfortunately. They were totally gone, so we're going to see, I'll grab a picture in a few weeks and see kind of what we're left with. So a true vertical root fracture is defined as a complete or incomplete fracture initiated from the root at any level, and it's usually directed buccolingually. The fracture may involve one proximal surface, so buccal or lingual, or both the proximal surfaces. And the fracture is located in the root portion of the tooth only, and may extend coronally toward the cervical periodontal attachment.